evening and welcome. I'm Selena Mead with the Vsb Tv 11 Evening News on this Monday, March the 24th. At the top of tonight's news, the Premier, Craig Cananeer, is in London this week to resume talks with Islamic finance stakeholders at the Global Islamic Finance and Investment Group Conference. While in London, he will also engage in a number of other meetings, including a bilateral meeting with Minister Mark Simmons of the Foreign Commonwealth Office, a meeting with the Treasury, and a series of interviews with foreign media publications such as CNN, Financial Times, Reuters News, and Global Reinsurance. The objective of the conference is to highlight the necessary regulatory frameworks for Islamic finance and to outline strategies for successful international collaboration. Premier Craig Cananeer commented, "It is vital that we continue to build on the foundation that is already in place with Islamic finance stakeholders and to progress our discussions at this very strategic conference." The Premier is accompanied by the Minister of Finance, Bob Richards, and the Secretary to the Cabinet, Dr. Derek Binns. In other news, after taking 2 weeks to stumble through the House of Assembly, the all-important billion-dollar budget for next year has landed in the Senate, and senators will debate the same issues for all over again for 22 hours before they can break for Easter. Both Senate Leader Michael Fahey and Opposition Leader Diallo Raban conceded that the custom of having the opposition choose the ministries to be debated lost its value when the same items were covered by the two branches of the legislature.
The key in the Senate is to choose less heads, and then you get more debate, because obviously it's a shorter time period. So it is a chance to have our agenda put out there, but also a chance for the opposition to ask questions about that budget.
But you're hearing the same old about each ministry. What a pity we can't find a fresher way of doing it.
Well, there's different ways it can be looked at. I'm somewhat surprised that the opposition has chosen many of the same heads that have already been debated in the House of Assembly. So it's a doubling up, where in fact what would be probably best is to choose different heads so that you hear different information.
What we do is we look at the heads and we take advice. Me as a Senate leader, I'm the one that submits the heads that we wish to debate and the hours that we want to assign to them. We talk to the MPs and we try and pick heads that maybe have been discussed already, but we feel that there are a few other things that we want to get out about them. The issue is down here is obviously it's only 3 of us, and we have to cover all of the heads that we pick, and we have a shortened time, only 22 hours. So sometimes it doesn't work out as far. I think what could happen is the fact that the government presents the exact same brief that they do up in the House. So that's really where the point is. That's really where the time gets taken up, because you're being presented the same brief. Nothing is changed from what is set up there to what comes down here. The only thing that's going to change is the comments that you have on it. So I think going forward, the Senate could very well think more positively, especially on the government side, about presenting briefs that are shorter, because they're only covering information that's already been covered. Our goal down here is to present alternatives and to talk about things that are already presented in the brief. So to answer your question, Brian, I think if the government did more to shorten those briefs, and it actually does happen, because we get the senators say, hey, we're doing this brief. I know the country's already heard it. We're going to try and shorten it a little bit for you guys so we can have a little bit more time for questions.
We should all be familiar with the Boy Scout motto, "Be Prepared," but in an effort to do so, Bermuda will participate in the Atlantic Tsunami Warning Exercise on Wednesday in conjunction with other countries within the Atlantic and Caribbean region. The exercise will simulate an undersea earthquake and landslide off the coast of Portugal, resulting in tsunami waves being directed towards Bermuda and other jurisdictions in the Atlantic. Residents should not be alarmed to see exercise watches and warnings posted on the Bermuda Weather Channel, on Cablevision, and WOW, the telephone recordings, emails, and broadcast bans. But they should take the opportunity to think about their state of readiness and actions should an actual event ever occur. The exercise is sponsored by NOAA and by the UA National Tsunami Hazard Mitigation Program. 2 men were arrested after a reported disturbance in the vicinity of King Street and Reed Street in the city of Hamilton at around 7:45 a.m. on March the 24th. First responders arrived to the scene where it appeared that two men were involved in an altercation that resulted in the individual sustaining minor injuries. Inquiries into the incident are ongoing, and any witnesses that have not yet come forward are encouraged to do so by contacting the Hamilton Criminal Investigation Unit at 247-1744. In a separate incident, police responded to a disturbance that took place at around 4:15 a.m. on Saturday, March the 22nd, at the Ice Queen in Paget. It appears that two groups of men were involved in a brief altercation that ended prior to police arrival at the scene. Inquiries into the incident are ongoing. Anyone with any information are urged to call 295-0011 or Crime Stoppers at 800-8477. Still ahead is Rachel with the weather preview. Thanks, Selena. A deepening low to our west brings a gale our way late tomorrow. On the radar, not much activity, a couple of sort of showers passing through, might get a sprinkle or two, but please stay tuned for the full weather report as we have a gale in the 5-day forecast.
The weather radar picture provided courtesy of the Ministry of Transport on Vsb Tv 11.
Open 9 to 7, Monday to Saturday, on 41 Victoria Street in Hamilton for your home appliance and hardware needs. Sears, washers and dryers, refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, a large array of Craftsman tools and accessories, lawn and garden tools, fitness equipment, outdoor furniture, barbecue grills, and much, much more. Open 9 to 7, Monday to Saturday. Sears, bringing Bermuda the best variety at everyday low prices.
With Cell One, you simply get more. More 4G speed and reliability across the island. More warranty coverage from the only carrier authorized to resell Apple iPhones in Bermuda. More first-class service with our 24/7 customer care, whether you're in-store, on the phone, or online. More services, mobile phones, long distance, and home internet, all with one company. Get more with one. Cell One.
Bermuda is an easy way to find great discounts while discovering fun activities to do in Bermuda. Discover the best spas, restaurants, activities, services, and shops at 50% off. Sign up to Bermudeals and start saving today.
Welcome back to Vsb TV 11. The importance of children to the future of Bermuda's tourism industry was highlighted today during a Hospitality Month rollout at the Rosedon Hotel. Commencing next week, Hospitality Month will showcase Bermuda's unique offerings to residents, and Rosedon manager Muriel Richardson and CEO of the Bermuda Tourism Authority, Mr. Bill Hanbury, emphasized the important role of children in the industry.
The mission of the Bermuda Hospitality Institute is to encourage Bermudians to pursue a career in hospitality. We have quite a few initiatives with that goal in view, and we also have the assistance of over 100 dedicated industry professionals that actually go into the schools and are helping us to educate our students on the joys and love of hospitality. Some of the programs that we have a Life Skills Awards program in the school. We have the annual BHI Moongate Awards. And there are many other exciting projects that we have going at the same time.
The number one asset for the hospitality industry in Bermuda ought to be our children. We're doing all of this work from a marketing perspective, from a product development perspective, to improve the economy and create jobs. That's what this is all about at the end of the day. And we want our children to be enthusiastic about the hospitality industry and about the fact that Bermuda is going to be on the rise from a tourism perspective. It's all about opportunities for our young kids.
How about the training of these young people?
There needs to be a better job done on training, obviously. We need to get people, again, excited about the tourism economy. In the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, Bermuda was absolutely at the top of its game, truly a global tourism destination at that time. And we want to bring the country back to that. I mean, there's a real need for the country to stand on another economic leg. And one of those economic legs is tourism. And so with that, we need to get our kids excited and interested in this industry again.
Students from Gilbert Institute and T.N. Tatum Middle School performed their winning jingles during the press briefing. In addition to a second season of opera by Video Nights at BUEI, the next one of which takes place Saturday night, the Gilbert and Sullivan Society is presenting a special fundraising opera night at the Little Venice on Saturday, April the 5th, which has all the hallmarks of a night to remember. Organizer Matthew Hester provides us with the details of the $150 a head gala night.
Saturday, April 5th at 7 p.m., we are putting on a special fundraising dinner to help support Gilbert and Sullivan Society and their opera program that is going on. This is going to be a special dinner put together by Little Venice in honor of Luciano Pavarotti, and the menu itself is inspired by the food from Moderna, Italy, which is Pavarotti's birthplace. And in addition to the excellent food at Little Venice, we will be providing some live opera entertainment, myself included, I'm happy to say, and we have another very talented singer named Jenny Campbell who is also going to be singing.
This brings back wonderful memories of being in New York and having the cast of an opera come in to have dinner at a restaurant and couldn't resist the impact to keep popping up singing their roles across the dinner table. It was a magic moment for me. This is going to be a magic moment for opera lovers.
Absolutely. I mean, it's something I don't think has ever been done here before, and we don't get a lot of live opera, period. And it's a great opportunity for both opera lovers and people who are curious about the opera but might not have seen any themselves. And it's going to be a real fantastic evening, I think.
Why do I see bottles of booze hanging around here? What's going on?
It's not actually booze. It's water that has been provided by San Pellegrino and Aquapanna. And Barrett's has gratefully agreed to co-sponsor this event with us, and they are interested in showing everyone these commemorative bottles that have come through, which are also honoring Luciano Pavarotti, being the great scion of Italian opera as he is.
It was decided by the Court of Appeals today that 24-year-old Anwar Muhammad, who was convicted of attempting to murder Princeton bureaus, will now be eligible 2.5 years sooner than the original sentence. Originally, Muhammad had been ordered to serve at least 12.5 years of his 25-year sentence. However, now he will be eligible for parole in 10 years. Throughout his trial, the jury heard that Muhammad was the pillion passenger on a motorbike when he shot at the victim outside of Arnold's Maximart in August of 2010. The Court of Appeals released a judgment this afternoon that upheld his conviction but ruled that the sentencing judge had made an error when setting the minimum period Muhammad must serve before being eligible for parole. According to the criminal code, in cases where the sentence is greater than 2 years in prison, the minimum sentence should be half of the full sentence, or 10 years, depending on which is less. Now, let's take a look at the daily markets presented by Bias. Here are the daily markets presented by Bias. World equity markets sold off sharply after economic data showed that U.S. manufacturing had slowed down. Investors also weighed the impact of further sanctions on Russia. Stocks fell as economic data signaled a slowdown in American manufacturing, and investors weighed the impact of sanctions on Russia. The S&P 500 closed 0.49% lower at 1,857. 18,500 shares of Bank of Butterfield traded hands with a stock price gaining 0.51%. Other Bermuda-related stocks listed in the U.S. closed lower. The FTSE 100 declined 0.56% after investors remained concerned that the Ukraine crisis and sanctions on Russia will disrupt trade in the region. The index closed at 6,520 at the end of trading. China's stocks rose after investors speculated that the government will take further steps to bolster the economy following an unexpected decline in the country's manufacturing. The Shanghai index closed at 2,066, up 0.91%. The Vsb rose, extending its longest rally since October, as an increase in commodity prices buoyed prospects for Brazilian exporters. The index gained 1.27% to close at 47,984 at the end of trading.
The slope of the yield curve flattened on bets the Federal Reserve will end stimulus and raise interest rates sooner than forecast. The 5-year U.S. Treasury yields 1.73% and the 30-year yields 3.57%. Commodity currencies gained as higher commodity prices lend support to Australian and Canadian economies. Australian dollar was up 0.54% and Canadian dollar gained 0.24% as of the last trade. That was a look at the daily markets presented by Bias. People and Places is next after the break.
We live in a beautiful environment. One way to help keep it that way is to always remember your reusable grocery bag. If you forgot, you can still do your part in saving our planet by buying a Marketplace green bag for only $1.19. Not only are they good for groceries, but they're handy for many other uses. Always have your bags in sight of you or put your grocery list in one so that you don't forget your reusable bags. You and the Marketplace are helping to save the environment by choosing to reuse.
April is Environmental Awareness Month, and VSB is committed to bringing you important facts. 1450 AM Gold and Mix 106 FM will broadcast Did You Know vignettes and interviews with local experts and government officials during the month of April. Vsb Tv 11 will show documentary films such as climate change, pollution and overfishing of our oceans, clean air, sewage, vanishing of the bees and other topics. April is Environmental Awareness Month. Stay tuned to VSB Radio and Television for details.
People and Places is next with Charles Webb.
People and Places with Charles Webb is brought to you by Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
If you're looking for books, luggage, clothes, trinkets, or other bits of object art, you might want to consider the barn. They are celebrating next month 50 years in existence. And Ann Jackson, who's one of the owners, tells me how much the barn has become a part of our culture.
Well, the barn started 50 years ago, that is in 1964, and it was at Jack Tucker's property. His wife, Kay Tucker, was very supportive of the hospital and of the auxiliary, and she used to run the White Elephant Stall at a fair that they had, and she used to collect stuff all year round at her barn. And one time they decided they had so much stuff there that they decided to open it one Saturday and see if they could sell it, which they did, and they took in 200 pounds that day. So they decided, well, this is a good thing. Let's keep it open every Saturday, and we'll carry on from there, which they did.
So it's fair to say that the barn over the past 50 years has grown quite immensely.
Enormously, because back in that time, she would run out of things and would nip up to her own home and take a few items out of their home, hoping that Jack wouldn't notice, and bring them down to the barn and price them, and they would sell immediately.
What are some of the items that are sold on a regular basis in the barn?
Well, it has been all along. Books. Books are a big thing. Bermuda books, if you're looking for Bermuda books. We have quite a selection of those, which are out of print. And then, of course, clothing is the main thing. There are children's toys, children's clothing. There's bric-a-brac. Bric-a-brac is very interesting. If you're missing something that is no longer available in the shops, you will find it down here.
Now, in these economic times, has the traffic in the barn changed any?
I don't know. That is a very good question. We have lowered our prices because of the economic situation today, and I think it has attracted more people back to the barn. A lot of wealthy people actually come here and do their shopping because they can't find the items in town, but they're here. You may have to wait a week or two, but they do come in.
So one shouldn't consider the stigma if one is shopping at the barn, should one?
Oh, heavens no, unless it's a good stigma. You should be proud of it. In fact, this jacket I'm wearing was bought and purchased at the barn. There's a lot of jewelry, a lot of costume jewelry, and there are pictures, famous artists, some not so famous, and it's all there.
Is this a place where, say, for example, people looking for hidden treasures would come?
Yes, definitely, definitely. I can't guarantee every week that you'll have a hidden treasure, but you know, what is one man's trash is another person's treasure, and it all comes through the barn.
Who is the ultimate beneficiary of money spent here at the barn?
Well, I think everybody would know that, but to confirm it is our hospitals, both the hospital in Paget and the one here at St. Brendan's, or called Maui now. It's the auxiliary part of those hospitals, and they do a lot of work at the hospital. There's a coffee shop, the gift shop, which their proceeds go to the auxiliary, and also the barn's proceeds go to the auxiliary. And with that money, they buy special equipment, which is over and above what the hospital has budgeted for. That's the main idea. Now, with the new hospital coming on, it's a lot of money going out, and they will be assisting that too.
So fast forward to your 100th year.
I won't be here, but I hope the barn is.
I found a delightful book here called When Pride Still Mattered. And it's interesting to note that there's a lot of pride in the barn. Here with Jane Jackson at the barn for People and Places, I'm Charles Webb, Vsb News.
People and Places with Charles Webb has been brought to you by Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
Want for much more furniture? Then shop at Big Savings Zone. Their prices are guaranteed, not estimates. Have you ever ordered something online expecting it to be a certain price, but when it arrives, it ends up being a whole lot more? Beware of those unexpected hidden fees. That never happens at Big Savings Zone. Their prices include all charges landed in Bermuda, so there's no surprises when your order arrives. Why settle for imitations? Shop at Big Savings Zone at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
Welcome back. In sports tonight, the theme of the 34th Government Sports Awards ceremony at the Fairmont Southampton over the weekend was that of national pride, where triathlete Tyler Butterfield and swimmer Ashley Yearwood crowned the coveted male and female senior athletes of the year. Michael Sharp has the following report.
It marked the second time that Bermuda's top triathlete, Tyler Butterfield, had been awarded the Senior Male Athlete of the Year award, and the first for Yearwood. It was 2 years ago that Yearwood received the Junior Female Athlete of the Year title. Triple jumper Justin Donawa beat out Dage Miners and Louis Chase Cooper for the junior title, while middle distance runner Kyra Skraders was honored with her second successive Junior Female of the Year crown. We have highlights.
Speaking with Jim Butterfield, just accepting an award on behalf of Tyler for achievement. I think the way things are going here, Jim, is going to have quite a bit of these over the next few years. He probably has quite a few already.
He does have a few of these at home, and I can tell you it's a motivation to him, but he loves the sport of triathlon, and he's dedicated to it, and an award and a recognition along the way, as we all like a pat on the back, and he's no different.
I don't think you ever pulled one off like Abu Dhabi and his first major win.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, the sport has advanced big time. The equipment times are coming well down. I mean, he did Ironman, and so did I. He was 2 hours faster than I was at the time. So that's a testament to his training, his diet, his dedication, and the fact that he's a professional.
You were up against some classy athletes there as well. Dage Miners and also Louis Chase Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, it's close. I didn't know. I would have been happy either or whoever would have won. It was just these great athletes that showed up today for this event, and I'm just really honored to have gotten this award out of everybody in that room. So,
how do you feel about you and Kyra, both track and field, getting Junior Athletes of the Year?
I think it shows that Bermuda track and field is on its way up. Ever since, even maybe just before we held Crifter here, just getting everybody amped up and national pride, like the theme we have tonight. I mean, it's only good things coming from here, so I think it's a really great thing.
That should do it. Enjoy your new shower.
Experience the bold look of Kohler at a Kohler registered showroom.
Choose to be healthy, Bermuda. Get out there and exercise with a sunscreen, hat, and shirt on every day. Eat healthy, don't smoke, and check your brown spots once a month to detect skin cancer early. Anything growing darker, bigger, jagged borders needs to be checked. Wear your sunscreen, hat, and shirt every day. Be sun safe, Bermuda.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you had a great weekend, and welcome to tonight's VSB weather forecast. Our weather shot is brought to us by Stephen Rossiter, taken at 7:20 this morning from Devonshire Bay. Very dramatic, beautiful sunrise, kind of golden sort of reds and oranges, and the sun like a golden orb rising from the ocean to kick off kind of a partly sunny but very windy day today. Thank you, Stephen, for sending in this wonderful shot. Temperatures for today, we had a high of 70 at 9 in the morning and a low of 64 at 3 in the afternoon. Current conditions, 63 degrees, humidity 60%, winds north-northwest 17 knots, and barometric pressure is unsteady at 29.85 inches. Rainfall index for the month of March, 2.96 for a yearly total of 17.27, about 4 inches up still from the yearly normal of 13.75 inches. I'm looking at the satellite. Winds will gradually ease through tonight, but increase again later Tuesday in advance of a new low off Florida. As the low rapidly deepens northeastward, winds will increase to gales Tuesday evening through Wednesday, while an associated cold front brings rain, showers, and likely thunder. The week will end with fair and cool weather, building under high pressure. And looking at the gateway cities, Atlanta, partly cloudy, 54. Boston, mostly cloudy and 36. Charlotte, mostly cloudy and 50. London, light rain and 52. Miami, rain likely and 80. New York, possible snow, 39. Orlando, mostly cloudy and 75. Philadelphia, 38, snow likely. Toronto, 32 and light snow. Washington, 38 degrees, rain or snow. And back at home tonight, mostly cloudy with a low near 58. Winds north-northwest, 18 to 24 knots, and then veering northerly to 12 to 18 knots. And tomorrow, sunny breaks, rain and showers later, a risk of thunder overnight with a high near 70. Winds northeast, 10 to 15 knots, and then sort of backing southeast, 18 to 24 knots, then veering southwest, 25 to 35 knots, and then increasing to 30 to 40 knots with gusts up to 50 knots overnight. Marine tonight, we've got a small craft warning with seas inside the reef, 2 to 3 feet. Seas outside the reef, 6 to 10 feet. And the sea surface temperature is 69 degrees. Marine tomorrow, we've got a small craft warning until the afternoon and a gale warning from the evening with seas inside the reef, 2 to 4 feet. Seas outside the reef, 8 to 12 feet. Low tide will be at 10:39 in the morning and high tide will be at 4:29 in the afternoon. And looking at the 5-day forecast, Wednesday, mostly cloudy with morning showers, gale with a high near 69. Thursday, sunny periods, windy with a high near 65. Friday, partly cloudy, high near 68. And Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 70. Thank you to Jeff Torgerson, our meteorologist for tonight, and everyone at the Bermuda Weather Service. I'm Rachel Sodden. Have a great evening. And we thank you for choosing to spend your evening with us at VSB TV 11. Good night, Bermuda.
Wardrobe and makeup for Rachel Sordin, provided by Gibbons Company.
VSB TV 11, Bermuda.